LeBron hits the floor like he's out cold, but seconds later, he's back like nothing happened. NBA fans are losing it over this wild flop versus Nikola Jokic.
What up?
Your guy last night drives it against Jokic. Jokic makes zero contact with him. LeBron makes the layup. Okay, no foul called. And then he falls to the ground, writhing in pain. The problem, of course, with the faker is that he wasn't sure which arm to grab, about which arm was hurt.
Big roll, 16 points. James gets inside for the deuce, and he lands awkwardly.
LeBron James drove to the basket, got past the defender, and made an easy layup. It looked like a normal, smooth play, but right after scoring, something strange happened. There was no whistle from the referees, and suddenly LeBron fell to the floor like he had been badly hurt. For a moment, the whole arena went quiet as everyone watched. The awkward part was that when he fell, it seemed like he wasn't sure which arm was hurt. First he grabbed one elbow, then the other. Fans in the crowd looked confused. The commentators sounded unsure, and honestly, no one in the building seemed fully convinced. This is still one of the most respected stars in basketball, a player who wants every moment on the court to be taken seriously. So the real question is this: at this point in his career, is the flopping just a habit he can't stop? Or is it a smart veteran move to try to get a foul call from the referees? What do you think? Share your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy NBA breakdowns like this, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now imagine the play.
I don't know where he got hurt to the point that caused this reaction. I think he faking, bro. I just caught it. I caught it. He reached for one arm and then reached for the other arm, so he just grabbed both of them. He didn't know which one to play it off with, so he grabbed both of them. Look at him.
LeBron James drives straight to the basket against Nikola Jokic. He gets past the defense, reaches the rim, and finishes an easy layup. The key detail is that Jokic barely touches him. No bump, no swipe, and almost no contact. There's nothing there for the referees to call. But right after the ball goes through the net, LeBron suddenly falls to the floor and starts rolling around like he took a big hit. This is a 40-year-old legend, a four-time champion, and a player many fans call the greatest ever. Yet in that moment, the reaction looked a bit over the top. Then the moment gets even stranger. LeBron grabs his right elbow like that's where the pain is. A second later, he pauses and switches to the left elbow instead, like he isn't sure which one actually hurts. Now the confusion is complete. Right elbow, left elbow, maybe both. The whole arena is watching this happen in real time, and the replay only makes it look more unusual. LeBron is on the floor holding one elbow, then the other, while a teammate runs over to help him up. At the same time, he shouts loudly, "My elbow," like something serious just happened. The crowd is watching closely, but there's one small problem.
So he goes to the ground, no foul called, but the bucket counted. By the way, they lost to the Nuggets because they always lose to the Nuggets, right?
Nuggets are better.
Yeah, they are better.
Nuggets are better.
And your guy's now writhing on the floor in pain. He grabs his right elbow, and then he's like, maybe it wasn't that one. So then he grabs his left elbow, and then it wasn't that one. So then one of the guys comes over to try to help him up. He yells, "Oh, my elbow!"
Nobody could tell which elbow he meant. Was it the right one, the left one, or both? Even the commentators sounded confused as the camera zoomed in. Everyone in the arena waited to see what was going on. Soon, he was helped to the bench, and the Lakers' medical staff gathered around him like it was a serious injury. The broadcast cut away for a moment while the crowd buzzed, trying to understand what had just happened. Then, about 10 seconds later, LeBron James was suddenly back on the court. Just like that, the elbow problem that had him rolling on the floor moments earlier seemed to disappear. He was moving normally again and running the offense like nothing had happened. And in the end, the Los Angeles Lakers still lost the game to the Denver Nuggets, which has become a common result in recent matchups between the two teams. Over the past few seasons, the pattern has been simple. the Nuggets usually win. Not every single time, but often enough that it feels like more than just a bad night for the Lakers.
This is your king. This is your GOAT. A dude that is so desperate for attention. A dude that is so desperate to be noticed that he pretends to be hurt. He can't get back on defense after a made shot because he fell on his arm and got a boo-boo? And I struggle to say LeBron James got a boo-boo because all he did was softly fall to the ground.
When you look at how Nikola Jokic controls the game, running the offense, creating plays, and making his teammates better, it's easy to understand why the Denver Nuggets keep winning. But after this game, most people weren't talking about the final score. They were talking about the flop. Because after a while, moments like this stop being just a funny clip and start becoming part of a player's reputation. That reputation has followed LeBron James for years. Now when he falls to the floor, many fans don't immediately think he's injured. Instead, they feel skeptical, especially after a moment where he grabbed both elbows, yelled in pain, and then came back to the game seconds later like nothing happened. Plays like that are exactly why people doubt it. When fans watch something like this live, the reaction isn't concern anymore. It's confusion and disbelief. The strange part is that LeBron doesn't really need to do it. That's what confuses so many fans. We're talking about a player with 4 championships, countless legendary moments, and a career that was already secured in NBA history years ago.
Take him to the bench, and no one's paying him any mind, of course, because everyone knows he's faking.
Nothing.
And then he comes right back on the court like 10 seconds later.
Oh, thank God he's all
Yeah.
right.
Oh!
You know, I was definitely worried about LeBron.
Yo, it's so comical now that he don't even try to hide it. Yo, flopping on the ground like a flounder. Yo, not sure which arm to grab, so he grabs both of them. Does that, can't get up. Oh!
His legacy isn't depending on one foul call. LeBron James has already secured his place among the greatest players ever, and the numbers prove it. He holds the all-time scoring record in the NBA. His assist numbers are huge, and his longevity is incredible. Playing at such a high level this late in his career is something very few athletes in any sport have achieved. So when fans see him grab one elbow, then the other, and shout about an injury, it leaves many people confused. A player with that level of greatness doesn't really need extra drama to prove anything. The truth is, the flopping discussion around LeBron isn't new. It has followed him for most of his career. His supporters usually have an explanation, though. They say LeBron is one of the strongest players the league has ever seen, and he constantly drives straight into defenders. Because of his size and power, some people believe referees miss contact that would normally be called for smaller players. Others argue that he exaggerates the contact so officials actually notice it. And some fans simply say that every superstar sells contact. LeBron just gets more attention because the spotlight on him is bigger than anyone else's. And honestly, those arguments do make some sense. There is some logic behind them. But none of those explanations really explain a moment when a player grabs both arms, seems unsure which one hurts, gets helped off the floor, and then comes running back into the game almost immediately. That's why clips like this spread so quickly online. The whole situation ends up looking a bit theatrical. The reaction is very dramatic in the moment, and then it suddenly disappears when no foul is called. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Lakers still end up dealing with the result on the scoreboard.
Lakers end up the 6th seed, and Denver ends up the 3. Then they get Denver in the first round again. They're going home. They're not beating the Denver Nuggets. I can assure you that. They're not beating the Denver Nuggets. I don't care what anybody says.
At that point, the frustration from fans almost turns into laughter. The moment becomes so exaggerated that it stops feeling like serious basketball and starts looking more like a comedy scene on the court. And the timing made it even worse for the Los Angeles Lakers, because right after the flop moment, the scoreboard told the real story. The Lakers still lost the game to the Denver Nuggets. You could try to sell contact or fall to the floor hoping for a whistle, but if the referees don't call a foul, it doesn't add any points to the scoreboard. There was no foul call, no extra free throws, and the Lakers ended up with another loss. Meanwhile, on the other side of the court, Nikola Jokic, the player who barely touched LeBron James on that play, was doing what he usually does, quietly helping his team win and moving on like it was just another normal night. In many ways, Jokic represents the complete opposite style. His game is physical, calm, and extremely effective. He dominates games without dramatic reactions or drawing extra attention. If Jokic ends up on the floor, it's usually because someone actually knocked him down. Otherwise, he just keeps playing through contact and controlling the game. That contrast is part of why the Nuggets have been such a difficult matchup for the Lakers recently. Jokic keeps the offense flowing, and Denver Nuggets keep stacking wins. Now, let's shift gears for a moment because not everything around the NBA this week has been drama. Something positive is happening in the league right now, and it deserves attention. Con Newpel is starting to emerge as one of the biggest surprises in this rookie class. The Duke Blue Devils men's basketball product was taken 4th overall in the draft, but early in the season, he wasn't getting much attention. Most of the rookie conversation was focused on another name, Cooper Flagg. Flagg has had a very strong rookie season so far. Averaging around 26 points and 5 rebounds per game is impressive for any first-year player. Those numbers alone would normally make someone the clear favorite for Rookie of the Year. But the rookie race is becoming more interesting than many people expected. And if you enjoy NBA breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Especially when you remember that Flagg has been doing all of this with very little help around him. On top of that, he has dealt with foot injuries during the season, something that would slow down most players. Yet somehow, the 18-year-old is still putting up those numbers in the NBA, which is seriously impressive and deserves respect.